So we are here at FMBB 2017. We are in the second day of mondioring competitions. Today category 2 is playing, and we are with Kees Verbunt. Hello, Kees.
Hi.
Kees is really famous in the society of mondioring.
Famous?
Come on. He has been a good competitor. He has been a good decoy. Judge, not yet.
No. I was busy with it, but yeah, then some things came on the road, so
Okay.
maybe when I get a little bit older.
Okay. First of all, thank you for this interview.
You're welcome.
What do you think of the competition until now, here in FMBB, from the dogs you have seen?
I have a little bit mixed feelings. There are some very high level dogs, and you have, like always, a little bit lower level ones.
We will analyze the whole thing about malinois and training.
Yeah, that's
Yes. Yes.
but of course what I see, and that's usually the FMBB, I see more less routine dogs. It's quite the beginning of the year. The year starts usually February, March, so handlers nervous, dogs, yeah, you need a couple of competitions to finalize the last details, but yeah, we will see. Tomorrow it will be level 3. Yeah, I have high expectations, to say it like that.
Nice.
So
would you like to tell us some things about yourself, like how old are you, how you started, and everything?
Ooh,
Analytic, eh?
Yeah, I'm 35 years old. I'm actually a third generation of dog sporter. My grandfather did obedience, my father did obedience, my aunt, mom, brother, sister, they all did obedience.
Belgium.
So in Belgium, yeah, the Belgium obedience, not the international, the Belgium obedience. Never.
Where have you been? Where you were born?
I'm born in Belgium, in Turnhout. It's yeah, a little bit direction the Dutch border, the Hollandish border. So yeah. So actually, it was a little bit normal that I would start
Following this path.
Yeah. There was a little bit discussion because my mom's side was soccer player, and so they said he has to play soccer. So I started with soccer, but then 11 years old, my parents said, okay, now you have to choose. You cannot do two things at the same time. So I decided to go resolute for dogs, obedience and agility at that moment.
So your parents was into professional dog training?
No.
As a
All
hobby?
amateuristic, as a hobby.
Hobby, but still, yeah.
Exactly, they were actually more busy with the dog sport than actually their
normal job. Okay.
So no, and also they competed. There was even a time that we were, my mother, father, me, and my sister in the same group in obedience.
Really?
It's in the same. So yeah, I can say that it was normal that I.
Okay.
So then, when I became a little bit older, I saw ring sport, and yeah, as a young boy, bite sport is a little bit more
Tempting, eh?
Yeah. So then I started in a club, in a local club.
Which club was that?
Rijkenvorsel. Yeah, it was a small local club. They had a very good history, but it went a little bit down. So then I searched I had a little bit higher goals. So then I came in contact with Jos Helze, also a quite famous name in this sport. And yeah, he built me up to what I am now a little bit.
In Westerlo club?
In Westerlo, KBL Westerlo club.
Where we met the first time also, eh?
Yeah, the small field.
Yes,
yeah.
in 2010 I think
Yeah,
it was.
yeah, it's possible. It's also a club with a lot of history. We have a lot of Belgium champions in Belgian ring. It's a club that's, I believe now it's like 57 years old, so that's old.
It's a big yes.
Yeah, and it's a club with a reputation. So, and then I came there in the right.
So in which age you got into the ring sports?
That must be when I was really into it, 15 years. Yeah.
Really early?
Yeah. And then actually that same year I started with decoying, and at my club they said, oh, why don't you do your decoy certification? And I had taken one dog in my whole life, so but that was my luck. I did it exactly according to the rules, and the judges were happy, so they said I get a very good recommendation.
So your decoy...
That was in Belgium at that moment.
In 15 years old or later?
15 years. I became 16. Yeah. So and then a year later I became mondioring decoy. So and from then on it just
continue.
Yeah. So.
And your family, what kind of dogs did they have?
My family, they're breeders of Bouviers.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of hair, eh?
A lot of hair, yeah. The good thing is they don't lose it. So it's the bad thing's a lot of grooming. So no, with Bouviers and
So they were working with the Bouviers
yeah.
in the obedience.
Yeah, in the obedience. I also start with Bouviers in
Interesting, eh?
yeah, and also in ring sport. Yeah, I still have a small heart for those long bearded black guys. The problem is they stopped with cutting the ears, so then actually the whole
outfit
I understand why they did it, but
still, yeah, I can understand.
Yeah. So and then also in where my dogs came from, that was mainly from Holland. There you have the KMPV, where still they test the police, and there you still have their rough neck, hard Bouviers, but that stopped. So there was no.
Yes,
Yeah.
moving forward for this breed, yes.
So then there was a guy in Westerlo with a malinois for sale, a bad ass a little bit. He had some complications with it. His wife had some complications with it, and bought it over. And there, 2 years later, I became world champion with him in level 1 in the FMBB.
What was the name of the dog?
Zep. Zep.
So you didn't have Zep since he was a puppy?
No. I get it now. I have to see. I think it was 1.5 year old.
Okay.
So,
and how old were you?
Oh, now I have to count back. I had my driver license, so he was born in 2000, I think. So I had him in 2001, 2. Yeah, and 2003 I became Belgium champion in mondioring 1 and world champion FMBB, also in category
2003.
1. 2003 and 2003. I don't
remember exactly, but nearly. So it's something like 14 years before, eh?
Yeah, something like that.
Lot.
So so it's
they sound a lot, yes.
Yeah. So, and since then I still have that Bouvier feeling, but it's easier with the malinois. So now my heart is with malinois.
And Zep was also a famous dog.
Famous. He had his reputation, both good and bad.
The grandfather of my dog also.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So let's say it was not the easiest dog. Of course, my training was a little bit more wet neck than it's now.
Yes.
But they always say, the first dog, that's the one you never forget. And I'm often looking on that picture, standing on there with him in front of his trophies. Yeah, it's
something.
Tuk. Yeah, definitely.
So after Zep,
after Zep, now I have to think a little bit back. Since then I actually had always offspring of him, sons. The first dog I had after Zep was a half brother of him, Cola. I think you also know that dog. Very good grip. And since then I actually always was working with sons, grandsons of him, just to stay in the same line. Always.
Which lines was Zep?
Zep was. It's a sensitive matter. Officially, he had Balderlo bloodline, and Balderlo is pure exposition. But when you go in the real pedigree, he had Tom van Muizenbos, an incredible famous dog in Belgium. So
we will talk about that also.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's a really hot topic.
Yeah. So
nice. Yeah. So now your latest dog that you were competing with was Niki de Solcaza.
Yeah, brother of yours, correct? Yes. Yeah, actually a copy of yours, just a male version. Yeah.
Yes. And you won the world championship or the second place.
Second place after Tom Andrzejkowski. It's no disgrace to be after Tom. So a little bit bad luck with the food refusal, but hey, that's a championship.
Yes.
So no, and then I get.
Yeah, but I don't believe that you are like hungry for championships. Yeah.
No, for me, that hunger. Of course, I still want to show myself, and I think you should show yourself there.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I always bought like all the dogs, or I took over all the dogs and started them so I could faster compete. But now I have that idea a little bit. Maybe I put it wrong. Industrial. I want to do it faster and I want to do it better. So actually, when I'm training a dog, I'm already thinking, "Fuck, why didn't I do it like this?" So and that makes it cool. I want to
play.
Yeah, and try some things, and sometimes that's a little bit my goal. Like with my next puppy, it's born last Tuesday. The mother is a sister of the other. So I'm looking forward to start with it, and I hope my goal is a little bit next year. I heard that it's in Russia, the World Championships, all breeds, that I can compete there.
FCI.
Can compete there in level.
It will be interesting in Russia.
Yeah. I think, oh, it's nice. It's always in Europe now, and now we will go to Russia. I'm looking forward to that. Holy crap! I know it will be a little bit more expensive and a little bit more organizing, but Russia, come on, it has something. Russia, America, it's. Yeah, I'm saving money for it now, so. Yeah.
Nice. So you started competing with Jeb, and parallel to that, you were doing also decoying. Yeah. There was a time that you were doing like every competition in decoying in Belgium, or?
At that moment, I was. I almost dare to say that I was like decoying. 75% of the competitions in Belgium. But then with putting the focus a little bit more on dog training, and there was a year that I competed with 4 dogs. So that's a lot of training, it's a lot of traveling. So then the decoy went a little bit down.
So it was a matter of priorities, let's say.
Yeah. The goal went more to dog training.
So your heart is more to dog training than decoying. What do you say?
I wouldn't say so. When I was younger, I wanted to be decoy. I want to show myself. I still want to show myself. Nothing about that.
Yes.
But then decoying was a little bit. I felt myself important there. And now I want to show more with my dogs. Still, I enjoy decoying on training. I still enjoy that competition, but I like more the
building up.
Yeah. I get often that. When I participated last year at the Super Selection, I get that comment that I became more a training decoy than a competition decoy. But I understand, so I think, from young years I had, like I said, guys like Jos, Steve Sanhaven, maybe you know him, he's several times world champion, Freddy Sanhaven, big names standing behind me, so, and they were very fast. I want to decoy competition. They were very fast. You have to learn it. When you can learn a dog, you can read the dog. When you can read a dog, you can provoke the mistake on a competition. It will make you a better decoy. So they were.
And these days you can see a lot of decoys that they were really athletes.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Really fast and everything. But sometimes they are missing this fire. How can I explain? Like,
no, it's not fire because I see the urge in there. It's experience.
Okay.
But hey, they are like. I don't know, like now the average age in Belgium from the good decoys, that they're like 20 years old. Oh, well, give them 5 years. I'm happy that I can compete on the now. We will see in 5 years. So I wouldn't say it's the hunger that they miss, it's the experience. So just give them some slack, and I think, we have some very good young decoys now. So looking forward to the future with them.
At the moment, you're not in Belgium?
No, I'm living in Norway. I moved to Norway. I'm bad with dates. I think I'm living now in Norway for 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
So how come you left Belgium? I mean,
were you ever in Norway? Yeah, you were.
Yes, I were in
I remember. You were freezing then.
So it's not a good argument.
I warned you. No, it's they have a lot of beautiful girls there.
Okay.
No, it's not that. I don't know. I came to Norway and I was there for a seminar and the feeling is right. People are less stressed.
From the people.
People are less stressed. They are they're open. They're I feel
you're matching better there from the character, or?
Yeah, better. I wouldn't say otherwise. But the thing that I really feel is it's very relaxing. I always joke with my colleagues. It's like I say in Norway they're living 10-20 kilometers an hour slower than in Belgium. You know, in Belgium we are working and we're already busy with what we're gonna do after work. Well, in Norway it's more relaxed. People. I like the mentality there. It's a little bit bad with mondioring dog sport.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask. I mean, how you manage that?
It's a very delicate matter. Actually, by law, it's not allowed to do any
bike work or
bike work. Yeah. It's I don't know the exact word, but the law says something. It's forbidden to train your dog to protect itself towards other animals or other people. So it's a very, I know the Kennel Club, the Norwegian Kennel, puts a lot of work in it together with the IPO people from Norway. They
also have problems with IPO.
They have a special thing because they say the whole idea is that IPO is not really the big problem for mondioring is the bite suit. You know, it's like sending your dog on. While when we training, I make a lot of effort in the social aspects.
And in that, what you're saying about the suit is a little bit because practical. There is no difference between the sleeve and the suit. Even in EPO, they need more aggression than we need in mondioring.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think in mondioring, it's a little bit a problem from mondioring people also, that they promote like mondioring is more like real life or something.
That can be.
You know.
Yeah.
So people think that because it's a full suit, or if it's because it's closer to real life, is like more life-threatening than EPO or something.
Yeah, and I think also that's a little bit a wrong interpretation, because both IPO, ring sport, mondioring, they are programs developed to test the quality, the breeding quality of our breed, or breeds in general. So I think it's a.
They started at least like.
Yeah, exactly. Like for example, the KMPV in Holland. That's really a practical, orientated sport. Well, when the dog bites a sleeve, it's something, and the sleeve is very clear. While many see the suit as a jogging, you know, something that normal people are running in. Well, I think it's like.
But it's really stupid that.
Yeah,
to discriminate the sports.
Yeah, in my dog training, I don't see a decoy. I see a big biting dog. Yes. And I work like that. There has to be a good relationship. For me, the decoy has to be the friend of the dog.
And I think now in the modern competitions, you cannot compete with a dog that is not clear that it's.
No way, because there's so much going on the field, beside the field. Yes. When you have a dog that's not good in the head, it's.
You cannot make it the whole program.
Exactly. I compare it a little bit with a boxer. Have an aggressive boxer, he will lose, because even he has to think.
It's a good example.
Yeah, so I think that's my feeling about it.
So except you have problem, I'm guessing it's more difficult in Norway because you don't have so many fields like you have in Belgium, or decoys or helpers or.
Exactly. Yeah.
So in Norway,
we training a lot of brood also. Yeah, now Sweden recognized. Oh, thank God, mondioring. Oh, thanks Swedish Kennel Club. So we're living on the border of, and then with Sweden, and then I'm having my contacts in Belgium. So we fix something there.
And how is now we are talking about this the policies. The policies in Norway about pinch collars, e-collars.
Zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance. It's I would say, I don't know again the exact law, but to give an example, we had a family dog, and the person went on the internet and saw how you could solve a big problem. The dog was a little bit aggressive. With the collar. She did a nice job. She tells a breeder tells the government. She went to jail. Yep.
Okay, that's zero tolerance.
Exactly. Plus on your record comes, because everything's registered, you cannot own any dog anymore. So it's not, it's really a zero tolerance policy. It's, they don't laugh with it. So
of course you work only with clicker.
That was a funny one. No, I'm working with the clicker. I'm teaching my dog with the clicker, but I don't believe zero, correction. I think in the learning process you can do that all positive, but once you're going to, you have the assurance.
And I believe the pressure is also needed because I have said, we have talked about it with other people that that it's really important to teach your dog what pressure is, because he cannot live in a world without pressure.
Exactly.
I mean, living in a world is pressure.
Exactly. It's also, like mondioring 3 tomorrow, you stand 45 minutes on the field. The dog knows very fast after the first 5 minutes that you don't have a ball with you. So there has to be something extra. And then I speak about social pressure for myself.
Social pressure.
Social pressure. It's me that's there, and I'm still his superior. It's the same, like maybe again a comparison, and maybe some people don't agree with me, but your boss, he pays your salary. Okay, that's your motivation to work, but he also has a motivation because when you don't do your best, he will kick you out, and that's the correction. So when you do,
it's more fair like that.
Exactly.
I mean, because as a
more clear, I think. Yeah. Yes. So it's a little bit.
Yes.
That's also a thing that annoys me a little bit, and now probably with this interview we're gonna kick some people against the knee. But I hear too many people speaking also on Facebook, you have forums about pure positive training. I believe in that, but I don't believe year after year competing at a high level with just positive.
And the thing is that you can make I hear also these arguments about how they can train, for example, whales with pure positive. The thing is that, okay, if you put a dog in a box with zero, let's say, choices to show his genetic drives, let's say, of course, and if you starve him, you can work with him with positive training only. The thing is that starving also, isn't that the pressure? I mean, starving brings stress, so stress is pressure. Eh?
Exactly, but you had a good example with the dolphins and stuff that they train, but I never saw, I went to a bunch of shows because I think the modern dog training, it comes a lot from girls like Karen Prayer, dolphin trainer.
Yes.
But so I was interested in those shows, but I never see them doing a 1.5 hour show or 45-minute show, let's say it, with one dolphin without giving one sardine.
Yes.
So
every exercise has a word.
Well, and that's something that we don't have. Like I said, 45 minutes we're standing on the field, and the only thing what we have is ourselves with good boy.
Yes.
So.
And the next, where the topic goes next, that if dog sports are good, you know, this is the next argument people have.
Yeah.
If it's cruel to do dog sports. I mean, I have heard even arguments about, okay, let's say the aesthetics from biting sports, I can understand. I don't agree, of course, but I can understand. But the aesthetics from dog dancing or dog frisbee, there are arguments that this is cruel to the dogs also. You know, this comes from a lot of
yeah,
from extremists, like
I know.
Dogs have to be like they are, but if they are like they are, they shouldn't be with a human. Eh?
Yeah, I can of course not speak about doggy dance and dog frisbee. What I think is incredible cool. I know, like now the crufts, it's when I see those videos, it's like, oh wow, you know, they're high-tech trainers. And I see a lot of tail waving there, and my experience is tail waving is usually a quite positive way. And from my experience then, I know when I don't train with my dog, I see a nervous, a little bit restless dog at home. While when I have training weekends with my friends, we're training 4 or 5 times a day. I'm coming home Sunday evening and sitting in my couch, tired myself, and I see my dog falling down, satisfied, relaxed. Come on, that's a good feeling.
Yes, I agree completely.
Yeah, so no.
And not all breeds were created for the same reasons.
Yeah.
And not all breeds have the same, like, no matter if, I see that with hunting dogs, and some of my clients, they get hunting dogs for pet dogs, that they were strays and stuff. No matter what you do with this dog, like to put energy out, you can clearly see the big difference if this dog puts his energy in his genetic...
Voila, they are breeded with a reason. There is a reason that we made from a wolf to what it is today. So I think, yeah, a dog needs a task.
Yes.
I
think everyone needs a task.
Yeah, else I had a year that I was in employment. I felt myself hopeless.
Yes.
It's a bad example again, but...
No, it's a good example. A task is like, I mean, the purpose in life, let's say.
Well,
we do it like mentally, but it's there for all animals.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I think most of people, let's say, psychological problems comes from not clear purpose in life. Eh?
Yeah.
Like what I'm doing, and
and
depression comes.
Exactly, and I think what I also see is dogs getting more and more a position, not in the house, but like a family. They're eating on the table, they're sitting on the table. They stay dogs. I mean, you can take good care of your dog, but I don't think you do him an advantage with sitting with you on the table and stuff. And
this is, I mean, for me, the most unfair thing, because for a dog, and what I was seeing often is that the old trainers, in Greece we had a lot of hunters. So most of hunters in Greece, they are not famous for their training welfare or techniques or whatever, but even with this hardcore way of training, you couldn't see really disturbed dogs psychologically.
That I believe, actually.
And now like the dogs are, like you say, they're eating with their bosses, they're sleeping together, they're going vacations together, which I don't say it's bad, but the thing is that the role that we have put to the dogs, it's not clear for them. Hunting was a clear, the first is that, so you hunt or I kick you or whatever. I don't say I agree again, but it's clear.
Yeah.
Also, and the first thing is that, and the second thing is that hunting was putting a lot of energy out for the dog. But
holy crap.
yes, he was fulfilling a big drive of him.
Yeah.
So in the house, the dog is fulfilling, like the need of the pack drive, let's say, to be fulfilled is like 5%, and the other 95 is our need. So this creates
that's a funny thing. Yeah, it's a funny thing that you said. I think often people are doing more to be busy to satisfy their own guilt towards the dog because they're working the whole day, and then well, I think that's wrong. My opinion, my humble opinion. So.
I agree completely. And this is the reason people are getting dogs also.
Yeah.
I mean, me also. Yeah. I guess you also. I mean, we're getting dogs to fulfill some of our needs.
Of course. Yeah.
The thing is that due to fulfilling our needs, where is the dog standing?
Exactly. Yeah.
So do we care about the needs of the dog, or we put our needs projecting into the dog?
It's often ourselves. We are selfish, selfish species on the planet. Yeah. So.
Okay. So now, what are you doing this period?
This period, watching a lot of Netflix.
Okay.
So no,
I see the Stranger Things. I like it.
I didn't see that one. Okay, I will.
Anyway,
good.
This is a product.
No, anyway. It's so I sold my dog before Christmas. Nike, yeah, to Malaysia. So then the planning that I would take a new puppy, but the female, the sister of Nike, she decided to wait a little bit longer with her coming in heat than I expected. So now I'm actually the first time in my life, and really my life, when my parents went to the hospital and delivered me. The first thing what they did was driving to the dog club and to the market for buying me a poodle. Tarzan. So that's my whole life I had dogs. So this is the first time in my life, and I notice I get a little bit fatter and a little bit more lazy. And then so I'm really looking forward. He's born last Tuesday, and it cannot go fast enough. So yeah, I'm really So but I'm still active helping my friends who were competing yesterday in level 1.
It's from Sweden or?
Norway.
Norway.
Yeah. So I'm still helping them. It's I could not just stay home, then I would get restless. So I'm still busy with it. But yeah, it's.
And you also qualified for from the Super Selection to the next
Yeah. That was a special story.
This will be interesting.
Yeah. It's.
You were also selected for from the Super Selection for the World Championship in FCI next year.
Yeah, in Bilbao, level 3.
Spain,
yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It was. Didn't go according plan. In Belgium, the rules for the decoys, you have to recertify yourself like every 4 years. So then I was there competing with my dogs, so I said I will participate at the Super Selection and I'm for 4 years good again. So, but apparently I did something good and the judges liked me. So I was second selected after Lurk. Decoy that already last year was standing on the World Championship. Very good decoy, very nice guy also. So now I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little bit scared. I'm not so young anymore like I was. I decoyed some championships in the past when I was younger. So, and also Spain it will be like 20 degrees, while in Norway it's like 2-3 degrees. Yeah, so but I will be ready for it. I'm looking forward.
I wish you all the luck, and
thanks.
We will meet there also.
Yeah, probably. You're gonna compete there?
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah.
Yes, category 1.
So yeah, no.
Now your breed is the malinois.
Yeah.
And you will stay there, I guess.
I don't know. Out of the litter that I'm expecting a puppy from, it can be that it can be Tervuren.
Okay.
So.
Okay, but still, I mean.
It will be the bloodline malinois. Yeah. I have to say, I incredible like the German Shepherd also.
Yes?
Yeah.
Why?
I think they are more dog than a malinois. You know. More dog than I speak about how they look. Okay. You know, more dog. You know, they are a little bit more rougher, a little bit bigger head. So, yeah, I wouldn't say if I could find. Let's say I have 2 dogs. the same quality German Shepherd or Malinois, I think maybe I could take the German Shepherd.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward in a couple of years because they are really on their way back to German Shepherd. They're coming from far, but when I see lately at the World Championships, IPO, FCI, all breeds. Yeah.
There are some good.
Yeah. Definitely. So, yeah, no. I'm not really a guy.
Stuck.
Yeah, well, I can appreciate a good Judge Shepherd. I know you have some. So it's I know now for Belgium, for the World Championships FCI, there's a Border Collie selected. Hey, so cool, great.
Crazy, yeah? From Belgium,
yeah, perfect Belgium with all that history.
How Belgians
Now there's a Border Collie participating for Belgium. So I'm open-minded, and I think I respect everybody with whatever breed they have. I know what effort they have to do to get where they want to come. How cold, how wet they get by doing it. So
you can only respect the effort.
Yeah, I just take the Malinois because for the moment, for the sport that I choose, exactly. And you have a big choice in them also. So yeah, for the moment, I think I stay
it's the same thing that I like both breeds, Dutch Shepherds and Malinois. And the truth is that in Malinois you have much more choices, and the genetic pool is huge. I ask this question not because of the FCI mainly, but in general about the whole new era of, the policies about purebred dogs or MVBK dogs or KMPV dogs or mixed breed dogs, This started because there is a problem and there is a hole that it has to be filled. Else there is no logic.
Yeah.
Because normally the database was built up so that we evolve the breed.
Yeah,
all
definitely.
Breeds,
yeah.
So why there has to be a serious reason to put again bloods inside?
Not registered blood or registered some. Yeah, I understand.
What so what's your opinion about that?
I cannot really say a lot of that. Like I said, my first male Zep, he was like not 100% right. I will say that I think that the kennel clubs and the FCI is busy with it, with those things. There are, for example, I don't know all the countries, but for example, Belgium has a possibility to let your dog who has not a pedigree register. You have to show that the dog is actually.
You can do it still in Belgium.
Yeah. It's
all breeds.
I just know the Malinois has it, and I don't dare to say it. But then you get like.
But this is because maybe it's a national breed Malinois. So maybe this is possible because in general, in most of the countries, because we had this the Dutch Shepherds also, that in most of the countries is not possible anymore to register.
The Dutch Shepherds have it also in Belgium because a good friend of mine does it like that. Jean Lobbinger, and he's quite fanatic. He doesn't want to cheat anything with pedigrees. He wants to. Okay, he breeds a dog without pedigree, and then he does it, to the exposition, showing that he has actually a Dutch Shepherd, that he has all the teeth, everything what it needs. So I think really the kennel clubs are busy with it. It stays a sensitive matter. And I have friends that breed dogs with MVBK papers, KMPV papers.
But what you have seen, about the reality, you have seen dogs, and for sure you have seen MVBK lines.
Yeah, of course, I'm growing up in that. I'm growing up in Belgium.
So, what do you think of that? There has to be something there.
Yeah.
For the people, to make this risk, because if you are an openly breeding dogs outside of the FCI, it's really, like it happened before some time. Even if it was cancelled later, it's really possible that you can have problems. Not even you, your offspring also.
Yeah, I understand, and I understand that the people want to take the risk. But again, I come back to there is a possibility to do it legal. Why not trying it doing it legal? Our Malinois is going down a little bit, to be honest. Do we gonna solve it with taking dogs that we don't know? Yeah, because there is a reason that we have pedigrees. The reason that we have pedigrees is that we can look exactly back, tack, and that we are honest in the bloodlines. That are the diseases, weaknesses, strong sides. The bloodline, I always choose to go in the same bloodline. I know what the strong sides are, I know what the weak spots are. But
and when also as a breeder, you can continue this.
Voila, and that's.
Or evolve it at least. When you know the pure pedigree of a dog, for me as a new breeder, I know that, okay, I take it from Kees this dog, so these parents were from there.
Yeah.
And then I take from another guy another dog, and I mate them, and due to my brain, this will come out this result.
Exactly.
But if the pedigrees are broken,
Yeah.
it's like really luck.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
on the other hand, I have seen, well, especially in the Dutch Shepherd, it's more often. There is a big difference between the KMPV. I'm talking about because the biggest market of Dutch Shepherds is the Holland,
Yeah.
outside of the FCI, and then you see the FCI Dutch Shepherds, and you can see it's a completely different breed. In Malinois, it's the same with a lot of bloodlines.
Yeah,
also.
I would say even in the malinois, it's worse. You speak now about beauty lines and things, but when I look
No, but
around,
working on.
yeah. Now I speak. Yeah, to come back on the varieties within the Belgium Shepherd variety. It's if you look around here, you see the yeah, it's perfect here. You know, it's paradise. You see agility, obedience, IPO, German IPO dogs.
Yes.
It's
Even by exotic.
Yeah. You can pick out 10 or 20. You put them beside each other, and they all look different. And that's a nice thing. So they are all breeded for their own purpose, even within the Malinois breed. So I think it's a nice, and it's also a thing that I think made the Malinois today what it is. That you know, the different sports. It's good for you know, when IPO dogs missing a little bit that stupid roughness, they can go to KMPV. When we need a little bit more intelligence, we can go to obedience. It's dog sports. They're getting so sophisticated in training. It's like
we were
yeah.
I wanted to ask you that I can see dogs that are trained, or maybe countries. You know, some countries they have a big and long culture in dog sports, dog training, like Holland or Belgium,
France. Germany,
yes,
the big countries, actually, the big four.
Yes. But I see, for example, in Holland, the old guys, of course, they're training the old style. Not all of them, but most of them. In Belgium also, France also. But there you can see, if I want to take a really hard dog, I would go to these trainers that they are breeders also. Yeah. So it's obvious that as much we are covering the holes of a dog because of our good quality of training, the dog does not have to evolve. Kind of, you know what I mean? So if I can solve all of his problems, why should not he, but genetically evolve to my...
Yeah, and I think that's, as a trainer, a very important thing. It's not so much about the good qualities of the dog, but it's the bad qualities that you're able to work with them and make them better. So I think that's also why I stay always in the same bloodline. I know the weaknesses and I know how to fill them up. Sometimes I still show, but you know, so I think that's an important factor, to say it like that.
And it's a good question that I don't remember who told me that when you're going to buy a puppy, don't ask which are the strong parts, but ask which are the weak ones.
Exactly, and that often the breeders forget to tell. So I like
selective memory.
Exactly. That's also why like I said, I stay in the same bloodline, and then also I have a certain breeders that I always go back to. I trust them. They tell me, like, Kees.
Yes. I don't think that you can go there for a puppy selection and in 24 hours you can choose which is the best puppy, and you don't know, you're not raising them. So today the most city puppy, let's say, tomorrow will be the hardest.
Yep.
Okay, so for me it's still important that, and what I do is that I'm choosing breeders that I trust.
Yep.
I tell them what I need, and then I just hope that they will fulfill my needs with the dog that I need.
Because when you go choose a puppy, it's like you say, it's even when you go 3 times looking, you know, it can be 3 times difference. Yes. Now, testing and stuff, I don't really believe in it. I really no. I believe you go looking to a litter, you see the puppies, and they're straight away. That's it, you know, and then you start testing, but you make the tests in that way that the one that you want comes out. I believe, like the last litter, Nike's litter, my breeder was not agreeing with me. She said, you have to take this, the one that she kept later. This one is really for you, Kees. But I said, no, I wanted this that says papa, 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 papa. Normally I wouldn't choose that one, but I said I want to try something else, and it works very out well. So, yeah, following the heart.
And it's, you know, we have some common friends, and they said that you have evolved in dog training really fast and extremely in the, not in the other way, but what do you have to say?
I knew that this one would coming. Yeah.
For sure, the result we saw in the World Championship with Nike.
I think he liked to work, yeah. Well, that was maybe the problem with my older dogs. Yeah, I'm raised in Belgium, and Belgium has a quite tough culture. I think everybody knows that a little bit. Yes. So I'm raised as a young guy in that. So for me, it was normal to use all the articles that they nowadays use. But then with moving to Norway, like I said, there's zero tolerance. It could end my, never had a dog in my life. So, and then also the people that I train with, it's mainly girls, obedience girls. So they are in obedience. They challenged me. And in that way I went, yeah, I could not do what I could when I was living in Belgium. I know when I go now.
Adjust.
Yeah, exactly. When I was when I go visit my Belgian friends, they're all like, Kees, what are you doing? It's like, it's, yeah. Now I also had a very good input from my Swedish friends. They have the same problem as we in Norway. They have to train positive. So they brought a lot of input, then some Norwegian friends. And I thought, look, there is another way. But it's difficult for me. I'm raised with that old, it's not old style training, that's wrong. It's another, a harder way from training. And I notice now when I'm coming in a problem with a young dog, how fast I want to go to that system again, because it would solve a lot of problems so fast. But I cannot justify it in my head anymore.
Question I have for you. So in not your friends or you, but in Sweden or Norway, people that they are training dog sports, they're not using pressure.
Of course they're using pressure, but there are many ways of pressure. Not giving the ball, or giving the ball, but the last moment pull it away.
Do you think that you can train a dog for high level in ring sports, for example, without any collar?
I think you can train the dog perfectly without a collar. Yeah, I really do. Nike, maybe people don't gonna believe me, he was completely trained without collar. Would you have asked me this question 5 years ago? I would have laughed straight away in your face. Impossible. Yes, I think it's possible.
But with which kind of dogs?
Exactly. And not just that, I'm living in Norway now. Norway, we don't have a big mondioring culture, so that means that I can qualify myself with 2 competitions. While my Belgian friends, they play every 14 days. So when I have a problem, I have 3 months to solve it. They have 14 days or a week. For example, my friends, my Belgian friends from the IPO, I spoke with Bertje Arts, also a huge name. He played last week a selection competition for the FCI. You understand what I mean? Then you often need some, let's call it quick fixing or easier fixing. So, can you train a dog completely without a collar to level 3? Yes. Can you hold him on that level for 5-6 years? I don't know. Till now, when I had a good dog, I usually sold it. So I don't dare to say that. I don't gonna lie. I don't even got an opinion. If I think it goes, it doesn't go. Training till level 3, yes, I saw it. And I have now with training that positive, I wouldn't say that it's all clicker, nothing about that, but more positive. I created a little bit of group. We have in Germany, some people that training that way. We have in Spain, who does French ring sport, who trains that way. Portugal now a group. And we meet up, we give seminars to each other. And it's proven. My friend in Spain, she played 380 points in French ring. That's good.
Yes.
You understand what I mean? So yeah, it is possible, 100% sure. And again, if you would ask me 5 years ago, I would say, no way. But yeah, and of course the type of dog. I don't know if it's the type of dog or how you raise it. Like, since I'm living in Norway, my dog lives beside me, lives in my room, so my relationship is a little bit odd. When I was living in Belgium, I had nice kennels in the backyard. My dogs were living there.
Yes, I understand.
Does that have to do with it?
What is your opinion about when you have a good sporting dog? Do you think that living parallel as a pet dog is it a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it goes perfectly.
Come on, I was expecting other answers.
I think, and I think I start to hear it more and more. Emma, she played today 291 points. Emma is a super trainer. Her dogs was sleeping this night in the camper beside the kids. So I think it's perfectly possible. I had a little bit earlier today, I spoke again with a big name in IPO in Belgium, Nick van Ommeren. He had now a young dog that he bought from Norway, also raised in the house and stuff. And he said, you notice that it is perfectly possible, I think.
So
again, 5 years ago, asked that question.
So the thing is that, which is the next and last question for this matter. Just because it is possible, does it mean that, let's say, you had a border collie qualified for EPO? Okay, does border collies are for EPO? Are border collies are for EPO? You know what I want to say? That just because it's possible with one border collie, does that means that is the normality that?
No, it's not normality.
Okay.
But I'm gonna answer back on that. I predicted 5-6 years ago at the FMBB when I saw them training there, when I saw them there doing the mondioring there, I said, fuck, if we keep on going like this, if our training, what's a good thing, gets so sophisticated, we're gonna need border collies. Because border collies are easy to handle, easy to learn, they're very fast learners. So yeah, so it's good that my prediction is coming true. So who knows, in 10 years it will be.
No,
I don't think so. It's quite unique. Congratulations for that guy. But yeah, a couple of years ago I saw Mia Skukster with Ratti. I saw her live stream, her video on thing, and I was like, oh, that retrieving, it was like a bullet. And like a bullet back, it was like, whoa. And then, very strange, that same evening, I saw the video from Doggy Dance at the Crufts. And I saw, is there still place for innovation? Is there still place for doing it? Is it possible to do it better? Like, it was like,
I understand what you're saying.
I get it. Now, even when I tell it, I get goosebumps. It was so perfect, so fast, so detail.
But the thing is, I understand what you're saying, and I'm getting really.
Where does it stop?
Not only that, the thing is that I think you cannot compare, not good or bad, of course, but I mean this because in the ring sports, you can. I don't think you can really have this type of image in obedience because their bite work comes. If you want to have, like you said, a super intelligent dog that you can really work in detail with him, then it's really possible that you will have problem with bite work.
Why?
If someone is more intelligent, he has more dynamic to understand environment, circumstances, you know. So this means that for him is he makes better and more he's analyzing more before he makes a decision. If someone is less intelligent, let's say, he gets into situations more easily.
And he will hit his nose a little bit more also often.
You agree with that or not?
In human beings, I don't gonna talk about it, but I'm gonna bring it to dogs.
Okay.
When you're, I can bring it to persons also. When you're a smart person, you can analyze the situation, and you can also analyze how you can
solve it,
avoid and solve the problem. So I'm gonna give it with an example. The accessory, it's always a little bit, oh, will my dog do it? And then I ask a lot of young decoys, look, the accessory, my dog is a little bit insecure of it. How do we gonna solve it? And he says, most of the young decoys says, you have to train harder and harder and harder. So when you come on competition, it's easy. I'm not training like that. I learned my dog, instead of thinking on the accessory, I let him think on the decoy. How do I do that? The moment the dog enters the accessory, I let the decoy do a flea behind the accessory. So I changed the idea for my smart dog. He will not be like, oh, the accessory will be hurting me. No, he will be in his head, in his mood. The decoy runs away. So he will forget the accessory.
But this does not change the argument, eh? Just because the dog is smart and he can solve the situation does not mean he has the soul. You know what I want to say?
It's very easy. From a 2 horsepower car, you don't make a Formula 1. I understand that, and that's also why I said you have to know the weak spots of your dog, of course.
Yes.
It's.
I understand. Yes.
But for me, I prefer a smart dog, to say it like that.
For me also.
Yeah.
It frustrates me a lot to train with a dog.
Well, in the past I had the diehards. I promise you, I had. I came on the field and I know that they were busy with themselves, because that's also with the less smart dogs, like you say, they're working just for themselves.
Yes.
While the smarter ones know that daddy is there, and when there's really a problem, daddy will show me how it's done. You understand? It's another feeling. I know I still have with my Belgian friends often laughters about that. Nike, my previous super dog, but a sport dog. I remember that I played the FMBB last year and I said to him, attack. And the moment he went, I did this, because I saw the accessory before. I was like, before the stick attack, attack. Every time, straight in, while there were stronger dogs that passed. So he solved it in his way. Gives it a good feeling. It's sometimes a little bit stressful. While with my old dog Seb, attack.
No problem.
Whatever. When I put him on the guard of the object, I went in the blind and I was like, okay, okay, I can come back. Well, now with Nike, for example, I was like looking through the hole, what's going on there. So on the other side, it gives such a good feeling to come on the field when he's daddy.
I agree.
Yeah, it's
a different kind of feeling.
Yeah. And it's a thing, and a very nice thing to discuss on the bar. And it's often discussed on the bar, and I think often without any solution. So it's one of those topics. But in that way, I changed completely to my in the type of dog that I search for. I choose the smart one, knowing that there will be complications. Agreeing, but when I would take the tough one, the hard one, I know there would be other complications.
You choose which one you prefer to work with.
And also in the environment that I'm living now in Norway, and also the obedience people that I'm training with, I really cannot have it anymore that hard. Plus also my main decoys or girls, I cannot have the machine like Zep, 35 kilos doing an attack, poof, knowing that even in Belgium the decoys went upside down. I don't want that anymore. I cannot have it. My heart bleeds a little bit from it. Nothing about that.
Yes.
But you know, I have to be smarter.
So back to mondioring.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of the level, and what do you think of how mondioring was and will be?
Oh, I can call me already a little bit old school in that way. I was not whole in the beginning, but quite in the beginning. And I see a serious evolution in that. It's I think in the old days it was war. I saw gladiators, decoys that went for the kill on the dog. Yeah. You know, they're proud. Their masculinity depended on how they went on the dog. So it was another type of dog. What you also saw, like my friend Steve, he every time comes back with the dog, and he even mentioned it. In his times, 340, 350 points, you were world champion. Now you have to play 380, 390 points. So I see a changement in mondioring. Like we spoke earlier about, it's not really a test anymore for the breed. It's
Sport.
Yeah, and I know Bart Ballon, a big name. He said to me when I was a young boy,
To you?
Yeah. Not to me. We were in a
Yes.
in a group, and he said, "Look, French ring is for the decoy. IPO is for the trainers. Belgian ring sport is for the dog." And that was then. I don't think it's now anymore. Even when I go to the Belgian ring sport or the NVBK, they are super trainers. Those guys. They have super decoys. So yeah. And the same with mondioring. It's evolving. So yeah. It's.
But nowadays, I'm younger than you, for sure in dog sports. But even me, I cannot see anymore dogs that they, you know, when I see them, I feel respect, like from how they look, Turkey style of dogs. It's more famous now, Turkey, that's why I mentioned him, but you know what I mean, that you look at them and you feel respect.
But it's also a discussion, and maybe again,
Yes.
I'm gonna now hurt a friend of me. Turkey, all due respect, and I see the bite is like, oh, I saw him biting. Holy crap, that's a crocodile. I don't want to be there between it. But he just shows the bite.
Yes.
It's something else to go there for 45 minutes on the field with that, you know, you understand?
Yes.
I go back to my old time with Bouviers. My father did the breeding test with a Bouvier, and I had then at that moment a Bouvier that I did mondioring with. Not good, low level, but it was a start. I was a young guy, and we went to a breeding test again, and there was a Bouvier, a beauty Bouvier, and one of the tests was the decoy runs to the dog, and the dog has to bite, and then out. Now the beauty dog, what happens? He bites, no out, completely no out. They went, they pulled him, okay, good. I came with my dog. He had the perfect out, but when the decoy came, he was like, oi, ah yeah, poof. People always say, oh wow, did you see that dog that didn't out? Did you see that dog? Oh, we have a visitor. What if you would? What if that beauty Bouvier would have that perfect out, have that perfectly control? Would he be still having that bad neck bite, staying in bite, like you understand? So I don't, and I know many people see the videos of Turkey, for example, and all due respect, he has a super bite, but that's the only thing you see. I want to see him jumping. I want to see him doing the guard. I want to see him solving problems.
But I think Turkey is more famous because of his offspring more than his.
Definitely.
I think no, it's all completely.
I don't know how many times he breeded and how many. And fuck, I saw Turkeys and I saw offsprings of Turkey who are perfect dogs there.
Yes.
So nothing about it's again another discussion.
Yes. But still, you know what I mean. The style of dog. Yeah.
Like
not,
I said,
you don't see it anymore in the fields.
No. And then I'm happy that there are guys, and maybe I'm now gonna with other people that you have guys like Christophe, that still and. Okay, Christophe, maybe he has his own opinion, but fuck, he gonna be good in the future. We gonna need guys like that, and I know you have in Holland also some of those. I know you have even guys that breed pedigree dogs that have it. So no. I respect them, and I also understand what you mean. It is there is not the dog anymore.
Because as a decoy also, when you take dogs that you don't feel respect for them, like. Let's play.
Yeah,
you know,
but it's also a little bit the way of training. So we create a little bit that playing dog, because Turkey, it's pain in the ass on the field there. He will bite, that will not be the problem, but it's possible after one attempt in the guard of the object that it's like, oh, I have to go get him. It's
a balance that it's difficult. I mean, especially I think this is a problem when you are a trainer and you're a breeder and you have to balance.
Yeah, I could never breed. Too much principles to take care of. No. All due respect for breeders. But I understand what you mean. On like I say, in the old days it was, but it's also a little bit more. And now I'm maybe gonna talk with my decoy collies. It's more a game, a technical. The decoys are very technical, very, you know, with the accessory, with the stick, with the accessory, very good in the ski, very fast in. But they're missing that, I'm gonna go for the kill. Like I said earlier, you know, when I started, there were gladiators, there were Spartacuses that went for the kill on the guard. I saw on the guard of the oak with bottles of water that the decoy said, listen, it's you or me. Somebody gonna die here.
Yes.
That I'm missing a little bit.
Yes.
But fuck, the decoys now are way faster, way more, they're using more there.
Yes.
Well, then it was, and that creates, of course, that you come with another type of dog. I don't call them worse, better, a different type of dog. Is it good for the future? Other discussion. My personal opinion, no. We need torkies. We need zips. But you start to see them less and less.
But this goes, I mean, with the society, yeah?
Yeah,
society gets softer.
Of course,
softer,
of course. And also in like, yeah.
I mean, the old me wouldn't take in interviews or playing with the dogs,
No,
the pet dog. I should dig to have something to eat.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's really that's actually a nice thing that you mentioned, that it's the public opinion that there is a big discussion in IPO about using the soft stick. You know, it doesn't hurt the dog. I understand it does, but in people that doesn't know anything about dog sport, it stays a hit on the dog. And countries like Germany, Belgium, even there they're talking already about the e-collar, banning it, more humane ways of training. So
okay, but the thing is that until when you will lower standards, and the problem is that all these laws and all this agenda, let's say, it comes from people that they are not into dogs.
No.
Not even dog sports, nothing.
No, but they are important because they are the majority also. Yeah, but also they are the majority. You know, when people are looking here on the side, like now here the street, there's just general people that passing. They don't like it anymore, that hard, hey, I'm raised in dogs, I'm raised in Belgium. I can't even see it anymore. So it's, we have to evolve with the public opinion, for sure. So, and that maybe goes on expense of
the dogs.
Yeah.
But it's sad, eh?
Yeah, a very good example, and I had mentioned the example earlier today with a friend also. I see in IPO, for example, I see a bunch of malinois that don't or barely get over that 1 meter. I know when I was a young boy and when I started the ring sport, we didn't do x-rays. We didn't do, it's good that the x-rays and the hips and everything, nothing about, but we didn't do that. We saw the dog 1 meter 20. When the dog didn't jump over, we didn't start with bars, with learning the dog the count and doing the right step to go over one. No, sorry, we get rid of it. We take a new one. When we had a dog that had a bad grip or was a little bit slow, we get rid of it. We didn't work with the elastic parachute. No, we get rid of it. We buy a new one. That
changed.
Yeah.
Yes.
That generation fell away. Probably maybe in Holland you still find those, and in Belgium also find those, but it really
we should, of course we should evolve, eh?
Of course, yeah,
we cannot
definitely.
do otherwise.
No. And we have to follow the public opinion.
Yes. But the thing is that, does this evolution goes to a positive direction or it goes to a worse direction?
I think
for the dogs.
Yeah.
Because after all, we are still making what we like, we are still fulfilling our needs, but with this evolution, do we really make the right thing for the dogs? And the future of the dogs?
You mean the quality of the breeds,
yes,
for example?
In all breeds, not only malinois.
Yeah. That's a very good question.
Since control came about which dog can breed with which dog, and who dog can have a pedigree or not, depends on his outfit or yes. Genetic problems got more.
Yeah, but also genetic problems get solved. I give the example, the German Shepherd. They were very bad with the health issues, and I believe that the strength of the breed clubs, you know, the German Shepherd clubs, and the tightness in the pedigrees, you're not allowed to do that and that, the strict rules. What at that moment nobody liked, huh? But I think it brought the German Shepherd back to what it was. So I think it's also a good thing.
For me, control is needed.
It has to be that, definitely.
But the thing is that who is controlling? and who sets the criteria.
Yeah, that's really a political thing, and I'm not agreeing completely with the politicals, but I also don't want to go against it. My main thing, and as long as I can do my thing here on the field, like I said, it's they are more educated than I am in that way. So it's
You choose to.
yeah, that's a discussion I don't want to. Does it get better, worse? My personal opinion, I think we get let's say the malinois, for example, pure in health matters. I don't think it goes forward. Is it to blame on us as trainers, or is it to blame on the politician, the breeders, the kennel clubs, the system? I don't want to point. I think we have both are to blame. Yeah. Like I said, you see a good dog that you really like, he is not X-rays, you will use him for breeding anyway for the qualities without knowing what's behind it. Does that make you a bad person? No, your priorities are a little bit otherwise. Different. Yeah. Now, for me, health is important, and I see.
Number one, eh?
Yeah, definitely. And I spoke with a little bit back with the veterinarian of the military dog school, and he said, "Look, Kees, 5-6 years ago, malinois putting on the table for X-rays was a formality. Now, Kees." And he does a lot of malinois, so he can tell. He has a reason to speak. And in Holland, veterinarian clinic, the same. They say the same. So it's a little bit, I don't know what to say. I know the breeders that I go to. I just, for me, they have to be completely X-rayed. Also the what's required by the kennel club, but also what's not required by the kennel. I want to, and also when I have
need an athlete, eh?
Yeah, exactly. When I have a dog and it's 1 year old, within the week that it gets 1 year, it's completely X-rayed, completely. And after a couple of years, I do it again when he's fully trained, because I really don't want to spend 2-3 years of training and then playing competition, finally there to start, and he starts limping. Athletes, that's also a very nice thing that you mentioned that up. A nice thing and a nice evolution that I see. People are way more busy with that, because our dogs, IPO, mondioring, IPO, they are Usain Bolts, eh? They are athletes, eh? Many of those people, me included, we train every day. But Usain Bolt has a chiropractor, he has a doctor that takes every day's blood, he has a muscle specialist, and we take our dogs out of the hanger, go on the field with a cold dog. You understand?
Yes.
Well, fuck, our dogs are the Usain Bolts of, it doesn't matter, malinois, German Shepherd, you know, top sport dog. So I think it also
should evolve in that also.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really often, I was talking about that yesterday with some people here, it's really not normal that even we are so sophisticated in dog training, we are lack of, I talk with a lot of professionals, and like 99% of them, including me,
and me, I think,
we are not sure about what is the best for the physical exercise for the dog and about the nutrition of the dog.
I saw the diet of that Australian swimmer, Phelps. Holy crap! Every meal is counted, eh? Every meal, and we just like.
Yes. Exactly.
I know exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Like how are the kilos? It's okay.
But that's, of course, Usain Bolt makes a little bit more money than I do, so that's also a little bit.
Yes, but you are doing a big effort. Eh? Everyday training, traveling, costs is not. It's not something easy to do.
I know.
So it's a big invest. To not have not you. The dog world, to not have the clean and clear knowledge about what is the best for the dog to.
But I think there becomes more and more awareness of that.
Yes.
I know here stands a chiropractor. I saw always people at her thing. So I think we're getting more and more
detailed in that.
Yeah, busy with that. The nutrition and stuff. Yeah, it's a very sophisticated matter. I count on big food producers that they do their best, and that they come now and then look what we expect from our dogs. That they. So there is enough competition there, so they should do their best. But it's something that we maybe should take better care of, to say it like that. But again, I think it's coming. I think we are more and more aware of going swimming with the dog, building muscles. Another discussion a little bit in the same way that I had earlier this week. what is the perfect build for the dogs that we use? Do we want to use in Bolt? Do we want a Kenyan marathon runner, or do we want the triathlete who has
Big topic.
yeah. I think we discussed too little about that, and I think it's important.
What are your plans for the future? In general and in dogs?
In dog sports, my main goal is the World Championships in Bilbao, of course. I have to train myself for it. And then I'm looking crazy as a decoy, yeah. And then the next goal is next year in Russia. I want to stand with my young dog. He will be young. I did some bets today. Maybe I will lose, maybe I will win, but it will be a goal. I promise you I will.
Do your best.
Yeah. And
you're also doing seminars.
Yeah, I'm giving seminars.
You're doing also some nice decoy seminars.
Yeah, it's a little bit a hobby of me, and then it brings a little bit of money back to financiate my sport. So I do it a little bit, and most people where I come are quite happy and ask me back. So yeah, the decoy seminars. I think you were once joining yourself. It was cold then, huh?
Cold, yeah. Minus 25.
Yeah. You remember? I remember that was crazy cold. So yeah, I think decoy education should be like, I had to look, like I said, I had big names, I had champions, I had guys that were decoying, judging the world championships behind me, and I'm missing that too much now. There should be maybe a little bit more decoy schooling. Of course, the decoy that I want to work with is not the decoy that you want to work with. Yes. It's but also what I notice now, if you have the younger decoys, you don't find a guy coming out of the blue almost anymore. You have like some Belgian guys, their father is doing mondioring. Then you have a big names in France, their father is doing. So they have it like, well, it's very difficult. Family it's very difficult as a,
new guy to get into that.
Plus also decoying, like you said, I give seminars and I explain people how they can do it, how I think it should do the best way, how to move, how to control. Even girls, it's nowadays quite a hot topic. I know in Holland there are a lot of seminars for girls. It's super. I think they have the quality. They're super good women that can super train. And why should I not put on the pants for us then? I mean, yes. My main decoys are women, and they are good. I don't do a flea of 60 meters.
They are better in patience than us. Yeah?
We cannot say that on the camera. They will be
we give too much credit.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. No, but it's actually true. And I like more to train with a woman that understands, or a young decoy that understands my training philosophy, than a young.
Yeah, I will say something.
Yeah, of course. An athletic decoy that wants to show himself.
In a matter of a team, man working with a woman is not your girlfriend. It's important that, but with other women is much easier.
If I think back, the people that I can work the best with is usually people a little bit older generation than me, or like the woman. And I think there you explain just how.
Or you keep a distance and you are getting lower, or you don't have to get into this
exactly.
Mode.
So it's but still. I see many people putting on the suit, but I see very little decoys. You understand what I mean? Yes. In Belgium, they say you can see on a guy how he puts the suit on, how good decoy he is. Now, I have one of the girls that I'm training with, like she puts the suit on, she would be the selective French ring, mondioring, Belgian ring. She would be like, so I don't think it has anything to do with that. But yeah, a decoy is sitting here. It's born, learning to read the dog, learning. And when you do it because your father wants it, or you want to do it because, like I started, for example, it's cool to do, I'm a warrior.
It's not enough.
It doesn't work. No, it has to be a passion. It has to, and like me as a decoy, when I'm driving home from a training that was already in Westerlo, I'm busy with my dogs that I train, not just my own dog, but also the dog of my friends. It doesn't stop as you're.
Yeah, you're thinking like all the night.
Yeah, exactly.
Why this happened? How I solve it?
Yeah, and sometimes I'm at home watching like for the World Championships here. You know which decoys. You analyze the videos of the decoys. It's if you don't do it with your heart, it's impossible. No. And if you do it for the money, forget it. It just doesn't work. It has to be.
And I think, I mean, all this concern about the decoying is like, in building up is like 50% even more in mondioring. Like from the training
In
aspect.
bite work, I would say it's almost even 80-90%. Yeah, definitely. So for me, the decoy is a very important
issue.
Yeah.
So you are concerning a lot with someone else's dog. So this does not getting paid with money, I think. This, you know.
No, definitely they could not pay me if they would. If I would count the
Charge
hours
normally,
that they could put me, let's say a normal cell hours, they could not pay me. It would be so. No, and if you then do it for the glory, to say it like that, you will have a short, because you don't keep on doing it, and it ruins your body. Like when I started it, and I feel yeah. I don't, every morning when I wake up, I feel my body. It's like, and that it's not okay. I'm also working a lot, but it's coming a lot from decoy.
Experience from
yeah. So yeah. So in similar ways, maybe we should make a little bit more effort in that, more in the decoys.
But there are not a lot of seminars for decoys.
No, it's too little.
It's because like, I know like 4 or 5 people that they do seminars for decoys, like serious.
Yeah, it's many good decoys doing, but they actually are not knowing what they're doing. That's wrong. Actually, I say that wrong. They it's their natural thing. And they don't have to explain, because the guys that they train with trust their decoy.
Yes.
So he never. I remember
thinks why he does things and how to explain the thing he does.
Yeah, exactly. The seminar that I gave then in Norway, that was actually the first. When you were there, that was the first decoy seminar or biting seminar that I ever gave for decoys then, and I was sitting in the couch before, and I was like, okay, what do I gonna say? Because it's so natural. I don't.
Just bring the dog and we walk.
So, but then you have to explain it. I see that a lot of people that give seminar, they're very good on taking the dog over and show how to do it.
Yes.
But it's harder to, and it is hard.
I prefer it also.
Like I know when I go to the States for a seminar or something, I'm sitting in the plane making notes again, just repeating, because for me it's so natural. And sometimes, like the guard of the object, I have a step plan, tong, yeah, and then like written down, but I don't think about that anymore. When I'm having a puppy, I think about them, but like now it's a routine. I go it goes. So I really have to pay attention that I just write it down, and then also like when you're on a seminar, you explain, you see people like. Like they don't and then when you write it down, you give it to them.
Okay, but it's normal in all seminars.
So
and one last question, because of the decoying you said, what is your opinion about the decoying the style in mondioring, that it has changed the last years? Like the skips are more, and the defense of the handler is more tight, let's say. Doesn't that goes a little bit away from the spirit of mondioring or the idea?
Sometimes it goes away from it. Yeah, I agree with that.
And sometimes even in big championship, it goes away from the rules also.
Yeah, definitely. There is a thin line, and it's very difficult to step over it. But I think that also has to do with the innovation of the training. As a decoy, it's way harder to take points of the dog, and that's the main goal on a competition. You have to help the judge.
But there has to be a logic, You know what I mean? Innovation, of course, innovation. But the thing is that if you have a sport, you use accessories or stuff, you cannot escape also. So it's unfair. It's not logic. Or for the defense, it's really a big conversation about the hidden signals or the freestyle of defense of the handler. I mean,
it's like today again, it's a hard defense. We have the discussions on the side, and we still don't have the result. But I know there are signals for letting the dog bite. It goes again combined with, of course, the training gets better. The judges getting more hard and getting more inventive in their program. I think it's a little bit a cat and mouse game, you know, between the handlers and
Yes.
but hey, it was
This
always
brings interest also.
yeah,
of course,
it was always like that, you know. It always was the trainers and the trainers became better, the decoys and the judges became finding more and
more things to.
yeah,
yes.
I think there has to be a line. Of course, we have the rules. We cannot go out of it because when you train a dog, you have to know what you have to train your dog for. But I think I just call it a big plus that you know, decoys going a little bit more on the edge. Okay, and when you're going on the edge, they are human beings. They sometimes go on the wrong side, of course. Judges the same. They're not
Yes.
gods.
Yes.
They make mistakes. So, but I have to say, like the last two championships that I saw, the FCI in Baptise, Belgium. Super decoys, super judging. Last year the FMBB, after the competition, I went to the judges, I went to the decoys. Oh, this is the book. And the dog, well, as much as I know of dog sport, how much I saw mondioring, the best dog won at the FCI.
Is the most important, eh?
Yeah, exactly. So no, I think of course it gets harder, but hey, we get better trainers also. So the judges do like haha, and then the next time we sing as trainers, haha. That's the funny
It's
game.
a part of the game.
Yeah. That it would be boring if.
Yeah, I understand.
So and it keeps you working. So yeah, but of course, if I see the level how it changed, what will it be? And I'm still young. I'm 35 years old, and I'm already having like 20 years of dog sport or ring sport in my body. So I saw already a lot. I saw a lot of people coming and go. I saw a lot of changing in the program. I'm looking forward to the next 20 years, and I'm quite sure that in 20 years I will be still there. Maybe we'll talking again. But yeah, like earlier today, I said in this interview, I saw that obedience in IPO. Couple of hours later, I saw the crufts, the dog dance. Fuck, what can we do? When I think if Karen Prier, I look a little bit up to her, if she would see what she brought into this sport, the advanced training, the shaping that we do, I think she cannot imagine what. I always say, innovation comes with competition. So, and if you then see when Karen Prior brought what she brought with the clicker training, if you see how evolved it is now, whoa, you know, and that would never have come by some doctors in white studying an animal. No, this would be you and me against each other in the arena. I want to beat you, you want to beat me. We have to be smarter.
Yes.
And so it's
like a little bit the predator's drive, eh? Like you have to be smarter than the other, so you have to survive, eh? So
survive is a big word. I have to go to work on Monday anyway for making my sandwich,
yes.
But
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
challenge is what evolves.
Yeah, definitely. So always innovation comes with competition.
Thank you very much for this interview.
You're welcome. Really. It was nice doing it.
It's really nice meeting you again. And for sure we will meet in Bilbao.
Looking forward to that. Sister of Nike to see to the higher levels. So
we will try our best.
Good luck.
And we can grab some beer.
Smart idea.
Yes.
Maybe first eating something.
You can find more videos in my channel on the project Interview in the Dog World. We will have some more interviews from the FMBB this year, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much.
Surfing, that's all we want to do.